Today we're tackling really a central tension in healthcare's future. It's this clash between the incredible speed of AI discovery, let's call that the hot zone, and the necessary caution of regulators, the cold zone. Our goal here is to dig into how these forces might actually work together to speed up medical breakthroughs.
Right, and getting them to work together is crucial because, the old way of discovering drugs, it's painfully slow.
Like how slow are we talking?
We're talking 12, maybe 15 years. And about $2.5 billion for one drug. It's a massive bottleneck.
Wow.
AI just changes that whole game. It can generate really complex biological ideas in minutes, not weeks or months. That's the hot zone in action.
Okay, but how does it actually do that? What's the trick to handling all that biological complexity so fast?
Well, a key innovation like the one from DeepMind is something they call Cell2Sentence, or C2S.
Cell2Sentence.
Yeah. It takes this incredibly detailed but also very messy single-cell data, single-cell RNA sequencing, and it basically translates that complex data into cell sentences that these big language models can actually understand and process. It's sort of like teaching the AI to read a really dense biology textbook as if it were plain English.
So it's like a Rosetta Stone for cells.
Kind of, yeah. And this ability led to a really amazing specific prediction.
The Somastertib example.
Exactly. The model suggested that this existing drug, Cell2Sentence, if you combine it with interferon, could turn certain cold tumors.
The ones resistant to immunotherapy.
Right, those tough ones. It could turn them into hot tumors that immunotherapy can target.
And that prediction held up in the lab.
It did, which is huge. It's not just finding a target, it's predicting how to repurpose an existing drug and make it work better under certain conditions. That collapsed potentially years of guesswork into one testable idea.
Incredible speed. But like you said, that speed is exactly what makes regulators nervous. That pushes us into the cold zone, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because this kind of AI software as a medical device, or AIMD, it learns, it changes.
It's not a fixed thing like a scalpel or a traditional drug.
Precisely. You can't use the old regulations meant for static products on something that's constantly adapting and improving itself based on new data.
So how are regulators handling this? Are they just saying no to adaptive AI?
Not quite. What's really interesting is the shift in focus. Instead of just regulating the final product, they're starting to regulate the manufacturer's process for managing change.
Okay, how does that work in practice, like with the FDA in the U.S.?
So the FDA introduced something called the Predetermined Change Control Plan, the PCCP.
PCCP.
Yeah. Basically, the maker tells the FDA up front, here's how we expect the AI might evolve, here are the updates we plan, and here's how we'll make sure it stays safe and effective as it learns.
So they pre-approve the plan for future changes, rather than needing a whole new approval for every single algorithm tweak.
You got it. The FDA is essentially saying, show us you have strong quality control and a good plan, and we can allow these pre-agreed changes. It focuses on the manufacturer's ability to manage the process safely over time.
That makes sense. It allows for improvement without constant regulatory hurdles.
Yeah.
What about elsewhere? The UK.
The UK's MHRA is trying something different, quite proactive, actually. It's called the AI Airlock Regulatory Sandbox.
An airlock?
Yeah, it's a pilot program. Think of it as a safe, supervised simulation space. They let companies test cutting-edge AI M&D in this controlled environment.
To see what works and what breaks.
Exactly. They're gathering evidence, learning about the risks and benefits in practice before they finalize their big AI regulations, which are expected around 2026 or 2027. They're building the rulebook based on real-world testing.
Okay, so different approaches, but both trying to manage adaptive systems. But whether it's the fast hot zone or the cautious cold zone, there's this underlying issue of trust, isn't there? These deep learning models can be black boxes.
Oh, absolutely. And in medicine, you just can't have that. If an AI suggests a diagnosis or treatment, doctors and patients need to understand why.
Not just the output, but the reasoning.
Precisely. That's where explainable AIs, XAI, comes in. It's not just nice to have, it's essential.
Essential for doctors to trust it, for patients to accept it.
And crucially, for accountability. The doctor using the AI tool is still responsible. They need to be able to understand, verify, or even challenge the AI's recommendation. XAI provides that basis.
So, wrapping this up, what's the key takeaway for you listening to this? It really seems the future of medical AI hinges on finding that balance, right? Getting the hot zone speed to work with the cold zone safety.
It really does. And maybe the provocative thought here is this. For this technology to truly fulfill its promise, the developers, the innovators in the hot zone,
Yeah.
they need to stop thinking of safety, transparency, and explainability as regulatory hoops to jump through after they've built something cool.
They need to be part of the design from day one.
Exactly. Building trust and continuous safety into the algorithm itself. That's how you harmonize speed and rigor.
Yeah.
That's the future.